All right, yo, got a question.
What's going on?
Alex, Ed, Brandon, that's the order. That's the way we're going,
Brian
okay?
and
Not
Alex.
over there.
Um, Alex, what do I look like? What actor do I look like in a
The
movie?
one that didn't get enough screen time for me to remember him.
That's fair. Okay,
Uh,
Brandon, uh, I don't know what the fuck you look like. Alex, you look like the Wimpy Kid in Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I don't know why I just thought about that, but
no, no,
in
I'm
the
cool with
Alex.
that. He was
I've
pretty famous.
discussed this. Alex looks like the guy from
Don't
Stranger
you fucking
Things.
say it.
Stranger Things, yes, yes, he does.
I have people will stop me in public. Strangers, complete strangers, have stopped me in public before to tell me that. And then to talk about the TV show to me, even after I make it very clear to them I have no interest in it. Like, did you watch season 2? No, I didn't watch fucking season 2. I don't care about that show. Why are you bothering me? I'm in a sheets. I am standing in
I'm
line
in a
waiting
sheet.
for my food. Could you
And
please leave me alone? I'm not him. I can't give you an autograph. You're not going to want it. It's not going to have any value. Leave me alone.
I would say Brandon looks kind of like a Ron Weasley. I don't know who else would look like Ron Weasley. That's about it.
It's awful. I don't know.
No, Lil Dicky. Lil Dicky. He's not an actor,
there
but
it
boom, Lil
is.
Dicky.
There it
Boom.
Brandon
is. I
looks
was
like
waiting for someone to say
Fix the
that.
hair and give him like a Jewish vibe. I can't do that.
Brandon looks
That
like
part.
Brandon to me. Now let's talk about some football.
Let's do it. But I love T. Higgins to the Bengals personally.
We're just doing it based on teams. We're going to start with the Cardinals first. We're going to go all the way down to the Washington Redskins. Boom. Shakalaka.
So you now know a 6th-round pick, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Alex, what you think about this pick?
I see zero fantasy impact in
I
this
agree.
draft for Cleveland.
I'm going Miami.
Whatever.
Let's go, Ed.
My
What's
guy,
going on with
Tua
Miami?
Tagovailoa. Tagovailoa. All right, today we got a video about our reactions based on this NFL draft that just happened past two
These drafts
days.
suck. That's what happens.
And we're not including this seventh round probably. Maybe like a few prospects, but for a
That's
whole
funny
one.
because the first team I'm about to talk about, the only notable players is 7th round pick. But
This is true. But
oh well.
regardless, we're just doing it based on teams. We're going to start with the Cardinals first, and we're going to go all the way down to the Washington Redskins. Boom. Shakalaka. Alex, who the Arizona Cardinals draft?
Nobody fantasy relevant. Eno Benjamin. That's who they drafted. They drafted Eno Benjamin in the 7th round.
No
Some
way.
could argue that Josh Jones might improve their offense, and hopefully that doesn't really matter for us from a fantasy perspective. Honestly, if you're in a redraft league, this probably doesn't matter to you. But Benjamin may be a decent stash candidate for dynasty. Maybe if you have a lot of roster spots. I know I'm not keeping him around, but
I love the dude, but I'm not touching him. I'm not keeping him on a roster
I'm
just because
surprised he fell to the 7th.
that too. That was
I
actually
thought
insane.
he would go higher than that. Other than that, I love Isaiah Simmons, but don't think I'm going to be drafting him. So, yeah.
Starting wide receiver.
I love the Isaiah Simmons pick. I mean, I know this isn't fantasy relevant, but I love Isaiah Simmons' pick for the Cardinals because they were just terrible at blocking tight ends last year. And, like, although that kind of sucks, that now it's not an automatic plug and play type of situation for tight ends going against the Cardinals, but it's just something to think about.
It is. And
I don't know about you.
I think that's about all I got on the Cardinals. How about you, Ed?
That's about all I got in the Cardinals.
We're going to skip the Falcons because they didn't draft anyone that we're going to talk about.
As far as fantasy
Unless you
perspective,
want to
yeah.
talk about their punter they selected in the 7th round.
If you can pronounce that guy's name, go for it.
All right, moving on to the Ravens.
That's what I thought.
The Ravens got J.K. Dobbins, 2nd-round pick. And then they got Devin Duvernay in the 3rd round, back half of that.
I like him.
And 6th round, James Proche.
I don't know.
Not really into that, man. But J.K.
Probably
Dobbins,
a
I think
slot
that's
receiver.
pretty interesting. I mean, Mark Ingram's up there in age. I think that could be a stash type of dynasty look.
I wouldn't necessarily
He
say
might be.
stash. But I could
Yeah,
say
I mean, he'll probably have value this year. I would have liked him on a number of other teams, however the Ravens are running offense, so
Uh,
I don't hate the fit. I think he's talented, so I think that talent will show through
uh,
eventually.
fair.
yeah.
Hey,
I
you guys know these players better than I do. I'm going off based off of team needs, and I mean Ravens have just a ton of running backs: Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, Mark Ingram, or yeah.
I was
I like
confused with the
Duvernay.
pick. I like
Oh, I
Duvernay.
love that pick. I like that.
Hopping back to Dobbins, though, I think his fit with the offense is good. Mark Ingram's 30, strained calf
Yeah,
last season. Probably going to get faded out eventually through the season. I thought it was going to happen last season with Justice Hill, but
Yeah, I
obviously
mean,
Justice Hill doesn't have much.
I was gonna say Ingram's still pretty talented.
I mean
Also,
they
Dobbin's
signed
pretty
him.
versatile, so
Yeah,
that
they
Yeah,
that
just
works in
signed
his
him
favor.
last year, so like
still
they have
30-year-old running
plans to
back.
play him.
I'm not a fan of a 30-year-old running back in fantasy. Dobbins, though, I would say comes in behind Ingram at the start of the season, but eventually takes the reins. I would say RB2 territory. Hopefully, high RB2 territory by the end of the season. But I think it's a good pick for the Ravens for sure.
It's
That's
bold
fair.
right there.
I agree. It was a good pick for the Ravens. I like it because, again, Ingram he's getting old, so I agree. What are your guys' thoughts on Devin Duvernay?
Adds a little bit more speed to their offense. Not much else to
Mhm.
say for me.
I mean, I like it. I don't know who they're. I would imagine Seth Roberts, their slot receiver.
They got rid of him. I think he's with Carolina now.
Okay. I mean, if Duvernay could walk in and take that, that would be very interesting. Just because I think he'll be interesting wherever he goes. I mean, he's not. He's more of like a get the ball in his hands type guy, not necessarily like some very advanced route runner. But once
Can
he has the ball, he's great. So hopefully they can get him the ball. Guess we'll
agree.
find out. Anyway, to the Bills.
Ed?
All right, so the Bills took Zach Moss in the third, Gabriel Davis in the fourth, Jake Fromm in the fifth, and Isaiah Hodgins in the sixth. They got a couple skill players here. Brandon, what do you got to say about this team?
Uh, not. I mean, I wouldn't be interested in any of these prospects personally. Um, I don't see any of them really becoming too relevant, at least this year, being that they just got Stephon Diggs. John Brown's been stepping up. I think Dawson Knox has been finding his way out on the field, so he's going to require some targets also. So, like, I mean, the quarterback from, I mean, I don't
Isn't
see.
going to play.
Yeah,
I
Best
don't
so
like
case
like
for them.
that's not really relevant. At least I mean Allen most likely. I don't think he's gonna be going anywhere anytime soon, of course. I mean, what about you, Alex? Do you have any background on Gabriel Davis, who was selected in the
No,
fourth round?
not fantasy relevant if you ask me. Neither is Isaiah Hodgins. Zach Moss, on the other hand, could very well be fantasy relevant as soon as week one.
I think Zach
I
Moss
think
gets a
that's
lot of the red
interesting.
zone carries. Last year, Frank Gore had a ton of red zone
Yeah,
carries.
they gave
I think
like a lot of random carries to random guys, and if Zach Moss can take all of those, like if he's healthy and if he comes in, I I could I think he'll be a valuable asset.
I think he's going to be a good red zone running back. Probably get a couple touchdowns here and there.
I think him
Uh,
and Singletary could pair well together.
yeah,
That's fair.
I love Moss as a runner.
I don't
So
like Moss a lot personally, but I mean, in the situation, you got
I
like
think the rushing talent is evident. So that's really just what I'm looking for. I don't think he's a bad like bottom of the roster stash. Honestly, even in a redraft league, I wouldn't mind plucking him up at the very end, depending on who's there.
I agree.
I don't think the value is bad at all. Hey, do you have anything else to say about that?
Basically, just what I said already about the red zone touches. Frank Gore last year, he had the majority of the red zone carries for the Bills, which is actually pretty funny because the man's what, like 35, 36, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
Singletary barely got any red zone work last year, and when he did, I'm sure they weren't happy with it. But Zach Moss can just fill that role real quick. Frank Gore's red zone carries, pick up a few, probably get,
bag a few touchdowns,
I'd
hopefully.
say, anywhere 6 to 8 touchdowns this year. Honestly, it's not too far of a reach. And he's not going to get like 15 carries a game, but say he gets 5 with a
I
touchdown.
think he could though.
I don't
I mean,
see
there
him
were
getting 15
there
carries.
were games where Frank Gore was getting anywhere between like 10 to 15. I'm not saying Moss will average 15, but I could see him getting double-digit carries like in a lot of games.
Like 11, like lower.
As long as he
double
stays
digits.
on
Yeah,
the
I could
field.
see it. I just don't
I
see
mean,
him.
and there's a spot for that on any roster, if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree. It's a
If
decent
you're
pick.
producing, and I think he'll be producing. Moving on, we're going to skip the Panthers because they did not draft a single offensive player, which is understandable given that their defense was terrible.
And they lost Kuechly.
That too. So we're going to go to the Bears, who drafted some guy from Tulane you've never heard of to play receiver, as well as Cole Kmet. So we were right when we said they would draft a tight end. It just wasn't the guy we said they would. So,
Did we say it was Hunter Bryant? I don't think he hasn't gotten drafted yet. That is insane.
Is he still? That's nuts.
It is 7th round right now. Broncos are on the clock at pick 40.
Yep.
He has not got picked. Steven Sullivan got picked above him. There's 2 picks left in the draft. If he doesn't get drafted,
Okay.
wow.
All right, gotta wonder what that is. Anyway, I like Kmet for the Bears. I know they got rid of Burton. I don't remember their other tight end's name.
They just signed Jimmy Graham, right?
Oh yeah, they gave
They
Graham all of
actually-
that money.
A lot of money
really-
too. They have 10 tight
He's
ends on their
washed.
roster right
I was
now.
going to say that 10 tight ends on the roster.
That has to be mentioned. I mean, it's not really relevant. A lot of those guys are going to be,
Yeah, I mean, like,
side, but
I think Kmet is a very athletic guy with good speed, so I think he'll settle in as their best pass catching tight end. So I think he's a name to keep in mind.
And 2nd round as well. It's good capital for him.
yeah.
I wouldn't
I-
necessarily keep him on a roster as far as fantasy purposes, but
If it was on a redraft, I could see, depending on roster space, I could see you snagging him as a backup.
probably pick him up on the waiver wire, honestly. But
I mean, he is a rookie tight end. Rookie tight ends don't generally produce, but
No, they don't.
I like him in dynasty formats.
Yeah.
If you can get him reasonably, I like his
Okay.
future there, or the potential at least. I mean,
Yeah.
Chicago was 31st in the NFL last season in yards from tight ends, so I think this guy will get a chance.
Yeah, that's true.
Other
And
than
plus,
that, I
he's
have-
learning behind Jimmy Graham too. I like taking that stuff into
Jimmy
account.
Graham is like washed, so he'll
But,
probably
yeah,
be
but-
learning in front of Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, but just the experience
Yeah, I
he
know what you
has.
mean.
Yeah,
probably be learning on how to like seduce GMs into giving him money. Yeah, but
That's
too.
anyway, next we got the Bengals, and honestly, I like what they did this draft. Defensively, they got a couple good pieces later, but they also have T. Higgins they just drafted, and obviously Joe Burrow. But the receiving core, I like the receiving core honestly a ton, even without T. Higgins. But then you add T. Higgins in, I kind of feel like it pushes AJ Green out of the picture, even though he may have already been out of the picture, honestly. But I like Joe Burrow as a redraft quarterback for sure. What are you guys thinking?
Now remember, I mocked Joe Burrow to the Bengals, so just remember you heard it here first. I really liked that pick. I mean, no, but in all seriousness, T. Higgins to the Bengals, it caught me by surprise particularly because they have so many gaping holes on defense. I thought they were going to go out and get a defensive player, but I love T. Higgins to the Bengals personally. I watched some highlights on Higgins, and I like what I saw. I think he'll eventually be a 1-2 punch between Tyler Boyd and him after AJ Green leaves, because he'll most likely not be there after next year. And I liked Alden Tate, and that's I don't think it will completely push him out of the picture because John Ross is also on his contract year, so I think he still has a shot at becoming relevant as a number 3. But yeah, that's my thought on T. Higgins. Alex?
I love Burrow for as soon as this year, and I don't really care for Higgins that much in redraft unless it's very late.
Mm.
But I like him in dynasty because I like the player. So, and if guys get hurt, he'll get a chance, and I think any receiver is going to produce in that offense because I really like Joe Burrow. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Completely agree. Next team we got is the Browns. Brandon, take that away.
Browns.
All right, they got Harrison Bryant and Donovan People-Jones.
Hey man, we talked all that crap on him. I guess the NFL agreed with us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
but we did mock him second round, didn't we? That was a bit of a twist.
yeah. We
To be
we
fair,
mocked a lot of people high
to say
only
we
because
threw everybody high
yeah,
just because.
we
Yeah.
wanted to discuss most skill positions in the draft. So, I mean, it was obviously not realistic, but we
Forced.
talked about a lot of these players. So we got that out to you. So you now know a 6th round pick, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Alex, what you think about this pick?
I see zero fantasy impact in
I
this
agree.
draft for Cleveland. I mean, Wills will help the team, and I like Grant Delpit, but he's again not an offensive player. Harrison Bryant intrigues me, but like they just gave Hooper a bunch of money. They still have Njoku, so not
Uh,
like he's going to do anything. I don't think, and I don't like Peoples-Jones, and I don't think he'll be good. So to me, we're looking at a fat nothing in terms of fantasy relevance.
I agree.
I'm not a fan of this. I'm
Right.
looking at these picks, and I would have thought they would have went pretty heavy on some offensive linemen just because their line was so bad.
I mean, I like Nick Harris. I think Nick Harris has the chance to be a starter in the long
Alright,
run, and they took a tackle. Their
Didn't they
first
pick
round
up
pick, so.
Conklin or somebody from in the offseason? I think they picked up Conklin, offensive tackle.
Yeah, from Titans.
Titans, yeah.
I guess you're right. You're right.
We got 2 decent offensive tackles now, so I mean, better than last year.
Conklin's a right tackle, right?
He
I thought
was
he came
right.
in as a right tackle.
I think
Wills
Lawrence-
played right tackle in college, so
Yeah.
I wonder who's going to transition to left in the NFL. Guess we'll find out.
Guess we will. Next team up, we got the Dallas Cowboys. Anybody, stop real
Matt.
quick. Eagles fans, how mad? Alex, how mad?
Moderately.
Okay, Brandon, how mad? How disappointed, actually. Let's use that word.
Moderately.
Well,
I love this draft for them. They just kind of waited around. It's the first 3 picks I love. Gallimore was a guy that people were talking about going in the first, and they just snatched him up in the 3rd at a position of need. I like Trayvon Diggs, especially for their scheme. And CeeDee Lamb is CeeDee Lamb. I wouldn't be worried about him going to a offense that already has a bunch of pieces because Randall Cobb still managed like 800 or 900 yards last year, and CeeDee Lamb is better than Randall Cobb. So
yeah.
His value hasn't really changed for me. I still love him in fantasy, even if I won't be taking him because I just don't want Cowboys players.
My
for this
thought
draft,
on
Floyd.
it was that Amari Cooper's contract is only guaranteed up until 2021.
I've seen that
So
as well.
if Lamb turns out to be a beast, which I mean,
Kind of expect
that's what
that.
we're expecting. I mean, Cooper very well, if he produces as he has in the past, he might just be out of there.
Or they could just let Gallup leave.
Yeah.
One of the 2.
Fantasy wise, yeah.
I don't think it hurts
I like
CD's
Lamb.
stock at all, honestly.
No.
People might get overwhelmed
No.
because it's 3 wide receivers deep, but honestly, I think it's pretty good.
I
think
really
he's too talented for that.
Personally, I know I told Ed this. You guys might not agree, but I really like this as a best case scenario landing spot for Lamb. I just think the Cowboys have a successful offense. They get their wide receivers involved. I just like this pick all around fantasy wise. I think Lamb's going to be a beast. So
I wouldn't say best case scenario, honestly, but
I can think of at least 20 teams that I'd fantasy wise would rather have CeeDee Lamb on.
That's
However,
fair.
the guy's super talented, so I'm not going to argue.
That's fair.
Anyway, if I have the chance to put him on my roster. He's also really the only they drafted a quarterback in the 7th round. We're going to go ahead and not talk about him. So let's move on to the Denver Broncos, who they did some stuff. They did some interesting stuff. Let's talk about that.
I guess I'll talk
Jared
about the
Jeudy,
Broncos. They're
KJ Hamler,
they went-
Tyree Cleveland. One of those names does not fit with the others, but
they went back to back with wide receivers 1st and 2nd round. Jerry Judy. Love the fit, honestly, in the offense with Courtland Sutton on the outside if Judy slides into the slot role. But I don't like – I mean, KJ Hamler in the second round to me is just kind of unnecessary for this team. But I like
Yeah, I
Jerry
don't
Judy.
like KJ Hamler. So
Well, you don't
think
like him at
he's-
all if he
he's
landed in the
just gonna
7th round of
drop.
this team.
all the passes he gets. I love Jerry Judy, though. Wide receiver 1 potential this year.
In fantasy?
Absolutely. Potential.
Wow. That's a
Will he do it?
prediction.
No, but I think he could.
I would be shocked if that happened to me. Or if that happened. Top
This guy
12.
is like, I think he's going to be Antonio Brown without all the baggage. So I like him a lot. I'm personally pretty excited to snap him up at number 2 in our league, but it's neither here nor there.
You enjoy that because I'm fine with my 4 and 6 pick right now.
Fine
Brandon, you
with
got
1
anything?
and 3, boys. We run this dynasty draft.
Honestly.
And
I
how
do.
many
The
picks
draft.
collectively do we have in the first round?
I have 2. You have 2. Alex has like 4, 3.
No, I've got
You got 3
pick.
now.
I got 110 and 112 also. I've got 4.
Jesus. So
Yeah.
that's 6 between us. Alex, how many you got?
I think I just have the 3 because I moved down.
So that's
Yeah.
9 picks between us.
We're either doing something very right or very wrong.
Well, I just won the league, so you tell me.
Oh, okay.
I was
Anyway.
rebuilding my team, so and
Alberto.
I think I landed in a pretty good spot. But anywho,
really
Anywho.
care about Alberto
Anywho.
for the Broncos.
Alberto the Broncos, I mean, comes back with Drew Lock. It's a college teammate. It's not
absolutely.
bad. But it's just the amount of skill players they have on their team, and they spent like draft capital wise just this draft and last year. It's just kind of weird to me. But I mean,
They've
I don't
had
really
little
get
to
the Hamler
none.
thing,
Yeah.
what you say?
which I said I don't get the Hamler thing personally. I think they were better receivers on the board, and they probably have more needs than that. But
I
whatever,
agree.
that's their
there.
problem.
I don't know. I feel like they're forcing Drew Lock to perform at this point. I mean, not saying he won't, but it's just weird. It's just
I
weird.
mean, if you don't perform now, there's no excuses after
No.
like season or 2. If you
Bold
don't
strategy
perform, he's
time.
out. Simple
Next
as
up.
that. Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions, who
Yes, sir.
Alex
DeAndre-
correctly mocked DeAndre Swift for the Lions, which is actually
Yes, you did. And
Round of
Alex, I
applause.
appreciate that pick. I like it. I like
which should tell you exactly what they feel about Kerryon Johnson, what I've been saying for like a year now.
out the door.
I still like Kerryon. I mean, personally, I think this benefits him.
What?
don't think-
what? You're
He
not-
gets hurt. If he's given the workhorse carries, he's going to get hurt. I mean, I hate it, but I think he's talented. You give him 8 to 12 carries a game, I think he'll be somewhat better than being hurt. So,
Is that a running back you want to start? A guy who gets 8 carries a game who may or may not be injured?
no, I think he could be a good plug and play if you have another injury.
Running back 4?
Listen, I traded him away since the last episode, so my value on him shrunk,
As you should have.
obviously.
You guys should be like Brandon. Be like Brandon and listen to us because we have great advice. Ask Alex. He has like 8 rings on his finger at one point.
Yeah. Are you still wearing those rings, Alex?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You're a champion. You're born a champion.
Yeah.
Oh, in this league we're currently running, yeah. And all the other ones we're going to do. But again, that's neither here nor there. But I like Swift a lot in Detroit. I like Swift a lot anywhere, really. But
You know what I
then
heard?
he's talented, and he can catch passes. Passes, and he
You
can
know
run.
what I heard from some professional analyst, which actually boggled my mind. They said that DeAndre Swift will strictly be a third down back on the Detroit Lions.
That's
Maybe that's
crazy.
the same guy that said Clyde Edwards-Helaire couldn't catch.
Oh, I did see. Yeah, that was actually
That
insane.
guy.
And then he tried to correct himself in the bottom.
Well, actually, I didn't say that.
Actually.
I just said that. Like, no, dipshit, you said that exactly. Again, I
Well-
won in a league. I won in a league with these so-called experts. I won too.
So what are your guys' feelings on Swift here?
Love it.
You love
you
it?
already know.
Ed?
Every
Alright.
time I think about
Love
Swift,
it.
it's just like
And being that we already mocked him up here, I mean, you want to hear
So we already
full
talked about this
details,
exact
just
fit.
jump back
Yeah.
to the last episodes. But
He was
other
also
than
pretty much
Swift,
it. Because
yeah.
we got Quentin Cephas, I don't know. Who cares?
Okay.
And then some guy named Jason Huntley, who's a running back from New Mexico State, who I don't care about either.
Yeah, not going to be relevant.
Next,
I mean, could be, but oh.
next in line through this weird ordering system, we have the Green Bay Packers, who took a few offensive players. None of them are really too relevant.
I was confused about the
Love
AJ
for
Dillon
me.
pick. That AJ Dillon pick just
Yeah, that
Yeah.
seemed really high for me, especially for a guy
high
who
and weird.
Yeah.
can't. I don't hate the fit because I mean they like to use. They've been using Jamal Williams as like I guess just to run the ball. Then they bring in Aaron Jones to be that pass catching back. So I guess Dillon can sub in there in that Williams role. I think he'll be a good like between the tackles running or just running back. He's a solid runner. So I think he'll fit in there. I don't really. I feel like his fantasy relevance is probably greater than it would have been a lot of other places.
That's true.
I don't think so.
I think so. They spent
Yeah.
a third round pick on him. Like I think they're going to use him.
Second. Back
That was at
half
the end of the
second.
second.
Yeah, that was at the end of
Yeah.
the second.
Holy shit! Okay.
I think if the Seattle drafted him, I think I would have had. Obviously, you guys know my attraction with AJ
But
Dillon.
why? Okay, why
Uh,
Seattle versus Green Bay? To me, Green Bay is a much better landing spot.
I don't. I don't
You
like
believe
it.
in Jamal Williams?
No, but I just don't like the
Okay, so
too
do
many
you think
mouths to
AJ?
feed.
How so?
I
Because
just think there's-
Williams and Jones both got touches. You've been on the record before saying you don't really care for Jones.
I don't like Jones.
So if touches go to Dillon, like they're guaranteed touches there, whereas in Seattle, you're probably looking at him as the number 3.
What are you guaranteeing as far as touches for AJ Dillon? Are you guaranteeing like 3 touches a game? That's not.
All right, well,
anything to say.
listen. Did you say you like him more than Jamal Williams?
I did not.
You just what? Am I losing my mind here?
I didn't say that.
So you think that he's going to ride the bench behind Jamal Williams after they spent a second round pick on him?
I don't think he will, but I don't think it's like they said they want to do a 50-50 split with Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams. Okay. This is how I look at it. I don't like Aaron Jones, but he's better than Jamal Williams. So if they're willing to do that, to split a better running back, 50-50 with a running back that's less talented, do you think that AJ Dillon's going to come in here and just get 15 carries a game? No. He
If
might
he's
get a
better
ton.
than Jamal Williams, yes.
I wouldn't say he's better than Jamal Williams personally.
I would say, what the hell has Jamal freaking Williams ever done?
I think he's
I will
talented.
second
Well, you
that.
like AJ Dillon, right?
I like AJ Dillon, yeah.
All right, well then AJ Dillon over Jamal Williams. Get those carries, and Aaron Jones can be the third down back.
All right, anyway.
Am I drafting him in round 4? No. In round 14?
The crazier
Not there, I
pick
think.
here is Jordan Love, though.
I didn't think this
Although
was
I
crazy.
didn't think, I know the media made it out to be super crazy, but I kind of liked it. I don't know. I don't think Aaron Rodgers got too many more years left.
I think Love needs time to
Yeah.
to sit for a little bit. So why not put him behind Rodgers?
Yeah,
I don't know how happy Rodgers will be about it, but
yeah, networks
his
and
problem, not
media are making out like Jordan Love's going to come in and just take over. No, that's not happening. Aaron Rodgers is going to finish out his career however long he feels necessary, and Jordan Love's going to wait. He's going to learn. He's going to get better, and then when he replaces Aaron Rodgers or he gets tired of waiting and just leaves. But either way, he's gonna find his way in there if he's good.
What I heard on Twitter, Twitter's a wonderful app, by the way, but I seen people saying, obviously, the Jalen Hurts pick, people were like, he's going to be the next Taysom Hill and whatnot. You know, it's a trend in the NFL. I don't think it's a trend in the NFL
Yeah.
anyway. They said Jordan Love's going to play the Taysom Hill role with the Packers. I was confused by that.
People need to stop doing this.
Yeah, they have to stop doing
Well,
it.
he's gonna play the Taysom Hill role. No,
The Hurts thing I see because Doug Peterson literally came out and said so after the fact.
Yeah.
But to think that the Packers would trade up into the first, not trade up, but did they trade up for that one? Didn't they
Yeah.
move up a couple
Yeah.
spots?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
traded
I
up.
think like
To
3
think-
spots.
To think
4
they're going to
spots?
pick a quarterback in the first round who's not known for like his running ability and then just decide
Toss
they're
him
going
in.
to decide they're going to give him carries is insane. That why don't
We deliver facts here, Ed.
Twitter?
Straight facts.
Why'd you
Twitter
say
doesn't provide facts.
No,
Okay,
it
maybe
really doesn't.
sometimes, but not that. That's not fact.
No, it
Moving
was just
on to
comedy.
the
Okay.
best GM in the NFL, the
As
Houston
far as-
Texans. Let's go. Yeah. All right. So, all in all, who would they trade Hopkins for, you guys?
A lot of
Nobody?
money. They did. Well, not a lot of money. They gave up money and Hopkins.
What did they
To get
use
a
that pick
scrub.
for? Anything good?
Blacklock, is that the
Blacklock?
guy they got?
Yep.
for
A
Hopkins? They
defensive
traded
tackle.
DeAndre Hopkins for
For a
Ross
defensive
Blacklock
tackle.
And David Johnson.
and David Johnson.
Johnson.
That is about all.
And
that
a
needs
hell
to be
of a
said
lot
here.
of angry fans. And even people who aren't fans are angry. Like
They
me.
also took a receiver
Like me.
from Rhode Island in the
Yeah.
fifth
like-
round.
In the 5th
like-
round.
Obviously, he's not going to be a starter, but I like the dude. Isaiah Coulter, by the way. Anybody didn't?
Ed is a fan.
Yeah, Isaiah Coulter in the 5th round.
Anyway, moving on to a much more interesting team, we got the
Oh,
Colts.
I
Players we can actually talk about in Michael Pittman and
love
Jonathan
this
Taylor.
draft. Love
Also, they
this
snagged
draft.
Jacob Eason, which is
Yep.
interesting, as well as some guy named Desmond Patman, who will be the last time you hear his name on this.
It's a bold prediction.
I love Jonathan
is.
Taylor's landing spot here. I don't know about you guys.
I mean, I like it.
I think it was the best case scenario.
This
Yeah.
immediately kicks Marlon Mack to the curb to me, which is
Yeah.
hilarious. A lot
I was not
of Marlon
expecting
Mack
that.
owners out there who just got some bad news.
Yeah, people have been saying he's a sleeper lately, and I get that
No.
like pre-draft, but
Not
I don't
anymore.
think you can even touch him at this
Not
point.
anymore.
I'm
Because
not
he can't
drafting.
catch, he can't pass protect, and Jonathan Taylor is coming in to take his job,
Yeah.
which he will,
Wow.
because Jonathan Taylor is a great running back.
So
Have
you could-
Hines to handle the receiving work. I like
yeah.
it.
I am in love with that landing spot. Setting at the 101 of our upcoming rookie draft, I am openly saying I'm picking Jonathan Taylor number 1.
And I'm openly
personally.
saying I'm taking Jerry Jeudy number 2. So
And that's fine because I want Lamb number 3. So
And I'll take Swift at 4, so let's just keep
All
this
right,
going.
that works out.
wow, we got halfway through our draft. Why don't we just do
Already.
it now on air?
As well.
sure.
We own half the entire first round, no more than half.
We do have Michael. We also got Michael Pittman.
Yeah. Well,
Pittman
what's your
of the
guys'
Colts.
opinions on Pittman?
I like him.
Yeah.
I like
I think
him
it's a
for the
good
Colts.
fit.
I don't know if he'll be much of an outside receiver.
I don't think
He'll
so.
be more of a slot. However, we discussed this a lot. If Phillip Rivers is going to be the starter, Phillip Rivers does love himself some slot receivers. So Michael Pittman could find himself very involved in passing offense pretty quickly.
Especially with limited competition. I mean, you got
Yeah.
T.Y. Hilton, Paris Campbell, and Jack Doyle, who
Is
is
not a
Christian.
receiver.
I don't know what you would call him, but yeah.
Maybe they'll move him to receiver. They'll move him and Ebron receiver.
Ebron's out of there. He's not there anymore. Just
Yeah.
clarifying that.
Just clarifying. We got Mo
I mean,
Alley Cox.
Then I like Jacob Eason here. I mean, I don't know anything about the man, but I mean,
But I like
4th
him, man.
round pick for a quarterback to get some knowledge from Phillip Rivers.
Big arm.
I like it.
Big arm.
That's
Yeah.
about it.
Big arm.
So-
Don't know anything else. This could be a decent team for fantasy rookies. I think Pittman and
Yeah.
Taylor will both have their uses. Taylor especially. He could be approaching RB1 status this year if things break right.
This is true.
Problem is the pass catching. I don't know if he can catch passes, and I would assume they would let Hines handle the third down stuff.
Definitely.
But still, as far as running backs, I think he's the best running back in terms of running in the draft. So
Before we get to Jacksonville, can I
Like it.
throw a little tidbit out here real quick?
Let's hear
Hunter
it.
Sure.
Bryant went undrafted.
that's weird.
I don't know
Wonder
anything
what,
about the man. Tell me
Wonder-
why is this surprising? Explain it to
because
me.
a lot of people thought he'd go in like the second round.
Yeah,
Like,
we
he
had
was
mock
pretty
up.
much a presumed day 2 pick. He's a tight end. He's pretty explosive.
Has there been any rumors to clarify this undrafted status?
I don't know. Maybe,
No?
probably something, I would imagine, but I haven't read anything first.
I
I also
mean-
haven't looked.
For that big of a drop, I would assume there'd have to be something out that we don't know about at this point.
Or the media is just wrong all the time, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
that's also possible. Anyways,
I
next
don't.
up.
Thad Moss also went undrafted, so maybe nobody likes tight ends.
I mean,
I
it's pretty
mean,
deep.
Yeah,
honestly.
we have said even here that tight ends this year have been Very
Seventh
good.
round now. I'm spending the 7th round.
yeah. I mean I would have liked it. I mean the Eagles was swooped in, got a quality tight end as your guys.
Over
are-
that defensive end, that's not going to make the roster. But
Yeah.
moving on to Jacksonville, we got 2 receivers, a tight end, and a quarterback, and only one of these guys is going to matter. This is an odd one. LaVisca.
I like this a lot personally.
Hey,
Mr. Chenault.
I just feel like he has an easy opportunity to just slot right in there and fit in the offense. He can be a tool player, used all over the field. Get rid of Fournette. That's a ton of targets, ton of carries. Honestly, not saying he's going to play running back, but jet sweeps, whatnot. I feel like he could get in the open field, and I think it's a good fit. Honestly, number 2 wide receiver there, I would say.
All right.
I like
got-
the player. The
yeah.
talent's there. I mean, he's very talented once he gets the ball in his hands. I think getting the ball there might be a bit of an issue, and there's injury concerns that are a little scary. But honestly, I'd never considered him going to Jacksonville, so this is a weird one to me. But I don't hate it. I think it's a high upside swing.
Do you think this
Definitely.
helps receivers on the team or hurts them?
I
He
don't
could
think
help
it.
Chark.
I
He could help
don't
Chark.
think it really changes anything. I don't think Chark's targets are going to be affected by this. I think, as Ed said, it presents a very good opportunity for him.
hmm
Like, I feel like a lot of landing spots for him might have been places where he might have had to sit and wait. But
Yeah.
if he's talented, it's going to show because they don't really have a number 2. So
Can I quickly comment on
play, he'll
this
be in.
this pick in the 6th round for the quarterback Jake Luton?
Right.
Why are they drafting a quarterback? I mean, they got
Worked out well for him last year.
Yeah. I
and
mean,
now
Gardner's
they're
not guaranteed to be a great player. Let's be real.
yeah, but like let's say they're
mean, but-
trying to rebuild. Why draft a quarterback at all when if they just fail this year, they just
Yeah.
draft one
All
next
right.
year?
I mean, it's also a 6th round pick. A lot of guys throw, like the Jets spent a 4th round pick on James Morgan, who I think will be out of the league by like 3 years from now.
All right.
Teams do this, they just
Yeah.
throw late round picks at quarterbacks, or you can throw your 2nd round pick at a backup.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
Eagles.
Jags also drafted Colin Johnson, who I don't really care for, but he is a receiver, and there are no receivers on this team. So
Hey, D.D. Westbrook. I still
Who?
like him. D.D.
Kes Watkins, you mean?
moving on, Chiefs. The Chiefs
Alex
and
loves this.
one of my favorite fantasy landing spots of anybody in the entire draft. The Chiefs only drafted one guy that's going to have fantasy relevance. His name is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I like it. I like it a lot.
Easily the best fit in the entire draft.
I like this guy so much. He's a great receiver. Great receiver out of the backfield. The pass protection needs some work, but whatever. It's Mahomes, man. He doesn't need blockers. He's not
This is
getting
true.
sacked. He'll figure it out. I also
Yeah.
like him as a running back, too. I think he's very talented. I didn't think he would go this high. However, I love the fit. Love the fit.
Best fit easily in the entire draft, honestly.
I
And the
think
only
he's-
first round running back. Wow. That's just insane.
Interesting. To me, it tells me they must like him a lot. If they would have passed on Swift for him, that to me
Yeah, for
shows me
sure.
they believe in his running ability as well.
Yeah.
I like that fit a lot there. I'm in a redraft league, like I'd be pushing for this guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to reach for him, but I think he
I think it'd be worthy of a
Pretty
reach.
well
It'd be
this
worth it.
I think top 5 round, honestly.
in a dynasty. Oh, I love this guy in dynasty.
And a dynasty.
Love it.
He's going number 5 to Alex, by the way, in case anybody cares.
Now, who would you comp him with? Who would you say is closest to player like Alvin Kamara,
I've seen
Eckler?
I've seen
I would-
Kareem
yeah.
Hunt as a comp, just because
I like
it's
that.
Who was
Like
that?
a
I didn't
shorter
hear that.
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. Yeah,
Kareem
The thing
Hunt,
with
okay.
Edwards hilarious. He's like 5'7". He's
One of a kind.
207. He's
yeah.
a little like muscle hamster. Like he will
Alright.
run through guys. So
Kind
I
of
don't
like a
think,
Maurice Jones-Drew.
Exactly. I've heard
that's
of those
fine.
as well.
That's
that's a
sweet.
good one.
I love Drew. He's probably
catch
one of my
passes,
most
but then
favorite
he'll run your
running
ass
backs.
over after he catches that pass. No, I love him a lot.
All right.
He's also the only guy on this team worth talking about. So we're going to move to the Chargers, who picked up a bunch of guys that you have never heard of, including Joshua Kelly and Joe Reed.
I like Joshua Kelly. Don't do that. Last year as well with these red zone touches I was talking about, Melvin Gordon led the team, even though he missed, 3 games? I think he might have missed 3 games, something like that.
Yeah,
But he
they're going
had-
to have to find a new guy to handle those carries too.
Yeah, I don't think they trust Eckler enough in the red zone. I don't know why coaches think like the bigger running backs are the only running backs that can get carries in the red zone. It just baffles them.
I think it might just be a workload thing.
Yeah,
You can't give
understandable.
Eckler every touch, although, yeah, you do want your more talented players in the game down there. But you think Kelly will take those goal line carries?
I think we'll have a few, and I think he'll probably this year he's not going to obviously come in and start right away, but even Justin Jackson is a smaller running back. I don't see
Yeah, I don't
them
really
giving him
believe
a lot
in
of
him long
red
term
zone
that
carries.
much.
I'd
I mean,
say
as an Eckler owner, I'm happy with Kelly going there. I feel like I feel like he'd take less than what we mocked. Who was that? Dobbins we mocked up to go to Chargers,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I mean,
Dobbins is also
I think Kelly
little
would
bit more
take less
talented.
than what Dobbins would have.
for sure.
Plus
AJ Hill
draft
in the
capital.
7th
Fourth
is a name
round.
to keep an eye on, I believe.
Yeah, I like that too. He
He's a
replaces
slot
Travis
receiver,
Benjamin.
though. No, he
He does not
does
replace
not.
No.
Travis Benjamin.
No, he does not. He's going to be the backup slot receiver to one Keenan Allen if he makes the roster. However, I like the guy. I wish he would have gone to my Eagles. But and addressing the elephant in the room here a little bit, Justin Herbert to the Chargers. I think he could have, from a fantasy perspective, I could see him having like a bit of a Daniel Jones-esque performance, if you were, last year. Not starting out immediately, because I kind of believe them when they say they want to start Tyrod Taylor. Like, Tyrod Taylor's not a bad quarterback, but I would think if he struggles at all, sooner or later someone's going to want to pull the trigger. And you
Even
got a
with-
guy with a big arm and a talented offense.
Even with Tyrod Taylor a few years back in Cleveland, he was a starter for a couple weeks with Baker
He
Mayfield.
led the Bills to the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's not a bad quarterback, but
No,
more of a bridge
but-
quarterback, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, you did just draft this guy at number 6.
6,
So
yeah,
So he's definitely getting in there
yeah, for sure.
eventually.
at some point.
And honestly, even if he doesn't play this year, good dynasty stash if you're looking for a quarterback for the future. Interesting value redraft wise, I guess. I don't know if I'd roster him.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
unless,
it's someone who would be in the
Somebody
free
was
agency.
excited for him. Yeah, until
Definitely
like
would be.
maybe Taylor struggles, you pick him
Yeah.
up real quick.
Oh yeah. Exactly
guess if
like
you
what
believe in
Daniel
him,
Jones was.
Keep him around. Maybe if you have bad quarterbacks, sign him just to hope for the best.
Yeah.
But moving on, we're going to move to the Rams, who acquired some interesting players for the fantasy fit. We've got Cam Akers, running back, Van Jefferson in the 2nd round. That's bold. Bryson Hopkins, they get another tight end, and a kicker. Nah, just kidding. We don't talk about kickers. All right, Ed, I'm going to let you start this with Cam Akers.
Kind of a head scratcher, but I mean, Darrell Henderson's truthers are probably a little upset at the moment. But I mean, you kind of had to expect it. They definitely didn't get rid of Gurley just for Henderson and Brown to be the committee. But I like Cam Akers. He's used to playing with a bad offensive line, so I mean, fits right in there, But as far as fit with the team, obviously it's going to go into a committee type of approach. I think in dynasty rookie drafts, he probably falls to the later 1st round, in my opinion. But 2nd round pick, good draft capital. That's all I got to say about Cam Akers. But Van Jefferson, I know Alex loves this man.
He didn't do shit at Florida. He didn't do any. I'm so tired of hearing how great his route running is. And why did he do anything? He was like a 24-year-old college senior. Didn't do shit.
He's pretty old, yeah.
I'm not buying it. But I say this if he was standing in front of me, probably not.
I
but
don't think so. This man
Not
is
buying
what,
it.
6'2",
This-
200.
I don't think he's hiding in here.
It'd be
Don't.
hard for him to
In
hide.
the second round, didn't they pass on Denzel Mims for him?
Yeah,
That
Denzel Mims was.
is-
Oh
about
yeah,
6'3".
yeah.
That
they
is
did.
insane.
ludicrous.
That is
if you ask
ludicrous
me.
for sure.
I'm not saying Mims is just going to step in and be like a Pro Bowler for day
Yeah, but
one.
Jefferson.
He's going to need some serious development. But yeah, do I take a guy with better physical attributes who actually produced in college, who was far younger, or do I take Dan Jefferson? This is the Rams that we're talking about. So
Yeah. I think
I
it,
don't.
that pick doesn't really change much for me. I still value both Woods and Cup about just the same because Brandon Cooks is gone out of there, so like I don't know. He might take some of those targets, but probably not nearly as much.
Don't really care for him.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
tight end Hopkins is kind of interesting, but they have a lot of tight
Yeah,
ends, so I'm
that
not
is
sure if he'll do
confusing.
anything this year whatsoever.
I mean, I'm interested in seeing what they're going to do with Gerald Everett because there's rumors very early in the offseason saying there's a situation where he might actually get traded.
I could see
actually
it.
liked that because I personally like Gerald Everett. I think
They gave Higbee that
pretty
4-year
good-
extension, so I don't
Yeah.
see why
They
they
did.
wouldn't see about exploring
Mhm.
trading Everett.
And Everett, perfect landing spot in my opinion would be the Redskins, and I don't know. I think he would be pretty good there.
Trade him to the Bears.
Let's
Oh
not do
God,
that.
no.
I have him in
We talked
Dynasty.
enough about the Bears for
More
one,
tight ends.
like
Yeah.
session.
More tight ends. Yeah, like Akers, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So who was surprised when the Raiders took Henry Ruggs?
Not.
Like everybody in the world, probably.
I was gonna say, like,
Insane.
in terms of surprise, yes, but like looking back on it, should I have been surprised? No. Al Davis lives on. His spirit lives on in this team, and this is point A right here.
This was the point where, as an Eagles fan, I was like, "Whoa, there's a chance Judy or Lamb might drop unless
not.
we trade up."
It's not
I mean, a
so bad.
shot, but like, yeah. But Ruggs going to the Raiders. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I don't think Ruggs has any fantasy value, honestly. I mean,
None.
here and there. It's like wide receiver 3 maybe upside.
I mean,
That's bold.
this
I
year,
think that's bold.
I think this year might be a little sketchy. I see Ruggs as kind of like a Mike Wallace type guy. Like he doesn't really have like the make you miss type juice in the open field.
Yeah.
I mean, the speed is obvious. Like you can take a quick slant to the house. It's just he's not going to make people miss.
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, he's a large guy. He might break some arm tackles that way, but
Before the draft, honestly, I love the Raiders landing spot as a wide receiver, but I wanted Judy to go there just because
I don't know
I
why. I don't know
want
why. Like they could have. You can't scout Henry Ruggs without scouting Jerry Judy. So I'd like to know who made this evaluation.
Mike Mayock, the guy I said who can't make any mistakes
Boggles
before the
my
draft.
mind. But this one, I think they're going to look back on this one and see that this was a huge mistake. I like Ruggs. I think he'll turn out okay.
It
He's
also
not
opens
Jerry
up.
Jeudy.
It also can open up some of the field for Hunter Renfro. I think
Yeah,
he's
you're
probably
That's what
going
I
to
was thinking.
Hunter Renfrow. Yeah, I mean, I think Ruggs is redraft. I probably wouldn't touch him, just because the perceived value I think will be higher than his legitimate value is.
I think it's the same thing in Dynasty as far as rookie drafts. People are expecting to go in the first round, and I'm not touching him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. I would like him in Dynasty because I think like in a few years he'll be a productive like wide receiver too. Just I think
Rookie
people are going
drafts.
to overdraft him.
I
What's
would
a
not
fair
draft.
ADP for him? Would you
Dynasty
say
rookie
and
draft?
dynasty and redraft?
As far as rookie drafts, I'd probably look early second, maybe but
that's
I
what
wouldn't
I'm thinking
touch him.
here.
The
I
thing
don't
is,
know.
I'm not going to draft most of these receivers because of the fact, like, some of them don't produce first year. So, like, you can
Yeah.
honestly trade a second round next year for somebody like a Justin Jefferson who might go like 110. Like, there's no point in us trying to pick somebody at 110.
So what about Lynn Bowden Jr.?
Bowden, I like him.
I like him as
I don't
like
know if he'll do anything in Oakland, but I like the idea of him because
Yeah.
he's just very fast and agile. He should do some fun stuff.
he's
I
a
don't know how
very
they'll use him. That's intriguing to me.
yeah, he's like a Taysom Hill. Sorry to say that, but he's like a Taysom Hill kind of tool player, honestly.
If Taysom Hill was super small and super fast,
Yeah, I'm just talking about the way they're going to use him.
I don't know.
Quarterback,
How they'll use him.
receiver,
Honestly,
running
I
back,
have
does everything.
have absolutely no idea how they're going to use him. This is a
Yeah.
guy that was their punt returner in 2018 and played quarterback in 2019. He's a guy that you just want the ball in his damn hands.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Now, what are you guys thinking on Tyrell Williams?
I don't
Yeah.
want him dynasty wise. Maybe redraft. He might get a few touchdowns in there, but I just don't. I don't want
Yeah.
to roster him in redraft.
I think this kind of eliminated his value, in my opinion.
I think he'll start over Bowden or Edwards. Neither of those
start,
guys
for
really
sure.
threaten him, and like,
Yeah. Original, like off the start for sure.
and Henry
Like-
Ruggs just opens up the field a little bit more for him.
Yeah.
However,
Because I
to
liked
me, his-
Williams last year. I mean, I was going over with Ed a while ago on
Yeah,
where
we had
he
that
ended
bet.
up.
Remember that?
Yeah, he didn't end up what was it, top 30 wide receivers?
Yeah, you said top 30.
35, something like that. But that was like right before he got hurt, and then he just came back and didn't really produce. I liked him. He was very consistent. I mean,
I just
but
thought it was touchdown driven completely. I mean, it's not nothing to
Yeah.
knock
he
the guy.
was at first. In the beginning of the season, he absolutely
Yeah.
was.
It was
yeah,
like what 6 weeks in a row he had
For
touchdowns.
sure.
mhm,
He's a guy I could see, like, if he gets hurt again, I could see Brian Edwards taking that role
yeah.
For sure.
and just kind of not giving it back.
I
I
love
really
Brian
love
agree.
Edwards.
Brian Edwards.
I love this landing spot for Brian Edwards. Just like I said with CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs I don't like as a player completely, and that's why I liked Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb falling to Vegas. But with Ruggs there, I don't like Ruggs completely. But if you throw in Brian Edwards, I think I like that a lot more.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Solid.
What was the bold prediction with Brian Edwards, or was it with Tyler Johnson?
I
I
think
said
it was
there-
with
You
Johnson.
said Tyler
was gonna
Johnson
be
was
top
going to-
3 out of the wide receiver.
Wait, top 3? I thought it was
I
top
think.
I thought you
I-
said
top
3.
3.
I think you said 3.
Pretty
yeah.
sure you said 3. You might
Let me
want to walk
take
back
that back real quick. Yeah, that's not
Top
happening.
10.
Especially not with where did he land? The Jets,
No, the Bucks.
Bucks.
Which-
Yeah, definitely not happening.
I don't hate that landing spot.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
I don't know though, dude. Brady likes the slot receivers. I think Tyler Johnson is a good slot receiver. He'll get open.
Do you think he's going to play slot over Godwin? I mean, the man had how many percentage of his
No, but-
from his receipt?
All
Yeah,
right, let's save this for the Bucks.
I guess. And
All right, no, fuck it. No, we'll just go right to the Bucks.
let's not do
Talk
that.
about the Bucks.
Miami. We're going Miami.
You whatever.
Let's go, Ed.
My
What's
guy
going on
Tua
with
Tagovailoa. That man went.
Boy, that worked for them.
It did. Yeah,
Justin Herbert.
yeah.
They
Smokes
wanted to. They wanted to.
for sure.
Yeah.
And it worked. Worked a lot. He's also really the only guy we're going to talk about outside of Malcolm Perry, who they took with the 32nd pick in the 7th round. And
I'm
nobody
not
really
speaking
cares
on the
about
man.
that.
No. Austin Jackson though, they got a tackle for him.
Yeah, that's nice.
They didn't take a running back, which was yeah, they didn't take
I mean,
any
they
running
traded
backs, which
for
was surprising.
Breda.
Yeah, that was it was confusing to me personally, but I mean it's not bad.
I like
feel
that pickup in fantasy, though. If you can
fantasy
get him.
for sure. Yeah,
The injuries scare me, but
yeah.
he's a good running back, and they don't have very many running backs right now.
I feel
Okay.
bad for Jordan Howard. This man just goes to a team and it's like, oh, I'm gonna be the starter, and it's like, nah,
I mean,
Not
but are you
happening.
really going to use Jordan Howard as like your workhorse every down back?
no. But in Chicago, he looked promising, and now it's just
Yeah.
like,
I like the idea of him and Breda.
I like the combo.
I think that would be a good combo. Braden, Howard.
It's
I
a very
like it.
cheap combo if you're
Yeah.
Miami.
yeah. That's it.
Signed Howard for almost nothing. You trade a 5th or 6th for Breda.
Isn't Brady almost in a contract here though, or something like that?
No, who cares?
Close to
5th
it.
round pick.
And I like Breda here more than what I would have liked. I think we mocked up Taylor coming here. Jonathan
Yeah, I like
Taylor.
Braden more.
Because Jonathan Taylor's, I mean, what I'm hearing, he's practically like a better Jordan Howard.
a
Right.
lot better
Jonathan-
than Jordan Howard.
Yeah, I
A
was gonna
lot
say
better.
like, a
But yeah,
lot.
a lot better. But like, it wouldn't have made sense getting Howard and then getting a player like Howard, but
Yeah,
better.
play wise makes sense.
But I like it kind of breaks up monotony.
Also brings the idea of possibly them getting a running back next year with Chuba, Najee Harris, and Etienne. I think I like that possibility next year.
And they're really built on their offensive line in this draft.
Hopefully they'll keep doing that so they keep Tua upright.
Yeah.
Drafted 3 offensive line. I mean, granted,
I
one
don't
of
really
them
know
was
if
in
he'll
the
be that
4th, but
valuable in
that's pretty good.
fantasy this year. They don't really have any receivers outside of Parker.
Yeah. That was also confusing. They didn't get any receivers. They got Preston Williams, Parker.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Parker
Preston.
Williams.
I like Preston Williams, but
I like Williams.
I don't know if. I guess Tua's going to play this year. I would imagine.
I don't know. I feel like he might not start off, but he probably will end up starting eventually to end the season.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I would
So-
let him sit. I mean,
I wouldn't. In a redraft, I wouldn't really want him
Yeah, I'm not
per
touching.
se.
No shot.
I like him in Dynasty.
Yeah.
More of a future pick. What were you saying, Brandon?
If I like speaking on behalf of the Dolphins, I mean, I know my word here is very relied upon in the Dolphins organization, but I'd let Tua sit personally. I mean, why rush him back? You have Tannehill, or not Tannehill.
I say
you
if
got
he's healthy-
Fitzpatrick. So
Lay him. If he's ready to roll, let him roll.
fair. That's fair.
But-
I'd let him learn. Let him
I'll talk to Brian after the show.
Might want to.
fair.
I already got him on. DM'd him. Anyway, moving on. Minnesota.
Justin Jefferson,
Minnesota. Those morons. They have a slot. They have a guy in Adam Thielen who works best out of the slot. So what do? Draft a slot receiver. All these idiots acting like he's going to play the Stephon Diggs role. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I don't really like this landing spot for Jefferson. If they're going to play Thielen on the outs, I don't know. To me, him and Thielen are. They do the. I guess they're just
Same
going to let
thing.
Thielen play on the outside.
It's definitely confusing landing spot, but I think as a wide receiver too in an offense like this, I feel like it's quality. It's not
They
a
could have
terrible-
just taken Ayuk, and that would have been a much smarter decision. But no,
I would have
Minnesota.
liked Ayuk here, but I
I'd have
also
loved Ayuk here. To me,
Yeah.
he'd have stepped right into that Diggs role. But no, they
Mhm.
just got a slot receiver. And outside of that, they took KJ Osborne.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Did not
Nate
realize
Stanley
how
out of
many
Iowa. Exciting.
picks Minnesota had. They have a ton.
Well, pretty much
Yeah.
all of them are for the 4th round and beyond.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
I'm sure we'll never hear about any of these guys again. Yeah, I don't really care for Justin Jefferson's fit here. I don't think I'd take him in any leagues just because the price that would be put on him would probably be too high for me.
Yeah.
I think he has a great skill in being able to bust zones. Like he'll be a reliable target, but I don't know how much work he'll get in Minnesota.
That's
To me,
fair.
that's just a question mark. I don't know if they're going to play him in the slot. I don't know if they're going to play him outside. If they play him outside, I don't like him there. So yeah, I don't know. To me, this is just too much of an unknown for me to want to take a risk on that. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much. I mean, other than the what was
random
it?
quarterback at the
Yeah,
end.
Nate Stanley, 7th round. I mean, not really anything
Yeah.
else to go over here.
So
New
move on to the
England.
Patriots.
What do you guys think about this? They went 2 picks in a row, tight end.
I don't really care for the draft itself for the Patriots, but it'll probably work because it's
Patriots.
But
Probably.
I think this draft is hilarious because, like me and Ed were talking about earlier, they had, I think, 11 picks to start. Belichick traded 10 of them. So that's what Belichick does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put in work here.
Yeah. Man. All they really did fantasy-wise was draft 2 tight ends.
Yeah.
Don't really know how that's going to work out for them. I don't think either of them are going to be fantasy relevant anytime soon.
Yeah.
Can I put a little bit of information in real quick? This man,
Go right ahead, because I have nothing to say about either of these guys.
Me neither.
Dalton Keene, the guy from
Mustache.
Virginia Tech. Okay, mustache, beautiful. First of all, second of all, he had 240 receiving yards this past year.
Oh,
That's a ton, isn't it?
was that?
That
Were they a
is
running team? Or
I mean, he
Virginia
had
Tech?
19% of his team's yards. So I'm gonna say no. They were not a running team. 8% of the team's targets. I'm gonna say no. They were not a running team. The most receiving yards he's had was 341 in his sophomore year.
Oh, did you say 19% of their receiving yards?
Yeah. So, yeah, they were a running team. Yeah,
I was going to
Virginia
say
Tech.
that leads them 1,000 receiving yards.
Yeah.
That's not a lot.
He does have a very good. He performed well at the combine as well. Decent athlete. What was it? The 5th round they got him.
Third.
I mean, you would think he would be a good blocker then. I mean, if it's such a
Third.
running team. So
That UCLA guy is pretty athletic, I heard.
I have nothing to say about
Got
that.
nothing to say about these. I don't think they matter.
Asi.
On to the Saints.
Asi.
Saints drafted 4 guys. Bold moves there. And one of them's a quarterback.
You want to talk about the Troutman move, Alex?
Yeah, apparently they traded a bunch of day 3 picks to go get some dude from Dayton. So
Adam Troutman. I like it personally. It's kind of intriguing. The landing spot with Jared Cook was decent last year for Drew Brees. Yeah, add in Adam Troutman. I mean, 3rd round pick, traded a good bit to get him. I would say probably has some fantasy value.
Yeah, I wonder if they think he can take over that Jared Cook role.
Exactly.
As that guy that is just a weapon from
He's
the tight end
6'5",
position.
so I mean
he's fast. He had a very good combine, I believe. 3rd fastest 3-cone time. He's quick. He can run. It's kind of like the book on Jared Cook. Yeah, interesting. Interesting dynasty stash if you feel like potential. And maybe he'll get some. Maybe he'll get some work as a rookie.
Also,
I don't think I'd. Go ahead.
I was going to note about the quarterback they drafted. In the 7th round, I wouldn't say. I mean, obviously they kept their word on Taysom Hill being a possible franchise quarterback, which I don't understand that, but I think they kept their word by drafting a 7th round quarterback, Tommy Stevens. I mean, I don't think the dude's going to be on the roster, and if he is,
yeah.
they're a string for sure.
Yeah, no. Who cares? On to the Giants.
Nope. Onto the Jets because the Giants
Nobody on the
picked
Giants.
no skill position. Which I mean, so the Jets, they went Becton with their first pick, which was wow, yay, Eagles. That's one less team needy of a wide receiver. But psych. Denzel Mims went to the Jets second round.
Beautiful.
I don't think that's good for him.
Well, not good for him, but for the organization team. Late 2nd round, we had him going first.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is great value from a pick perspective from him. I just don't know if he'll be able to do anything there because he's very raw and he's going to need some coaching. And do I trust anyone from the Jets to coach? No.
I'd throw a flyer pick at Denzel Mims. Just a team that has, I don't know. I feel like someone has to produce. Jamison Crowder even had a halfway decent year, a playable asset. So I don't know.
There's also a slot receiver. Mims, I would imagine, would be used more as an outside receiver.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to have any value this first season.
No shot.
I can't see it. He seems like I feel like he'll need time.
What about
LaMichael stash? Sure.
What about LaMichael Pirine?
Yeah, who cares?
No words about him.
Nope. James Morgan, quarterback.
James. Gonna get into a little spiel here.
James
Morgan, to me, is everything wrong with how the NFL drafts late round quarterbacks. Because show me the last late round quarterback that has been plucked on day 3. One of those guys, he's got a huge arm. He can throw it. He can make all the throws. But, decision-making, accuracy, intelligence, if that's lower, then it just doesn't work out. How many of these big-armed, brainless quarterbacks do you see actually succeed in the late rounds?
Even in the first round, I mean, Paxton Lynch a few years back.
Oh God.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I turn it. That was the book on Mahomes coming out. Basically what it is on Jordan Love now.
Yeah.
I mean, no one can foresee that Mahomes was just going to suddenly stop throwing to opposing defenses, but I guess that's the struggle. No, I don't. James Morgan to me in the 4th round is a horrible pick. Horrible. I don't
What's the
get it.
Jets? So, and
Is
they
it as
also got
bad as-
Brandon Mann, punter, Texas A&M, 6th round pick, early 6th also. That's
Anyway, on to the
valuable to
Eagles.
point out.
Would you say the
Stop.
James Morgan pick was as bad as Jalen Hurts in the 2nd round for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Ooh.
I don't like the Hurts pick. However, I'm going to say the Hurts pick is better than the James Morgan pick because to me, the James Morgan pick was lighting that 4th round pick on fire.
All right.
I like Hurts as a player. We've all discussed this. We like Hurts as a player. I feel like there were a few more pressing needs.
A
And
few.
the fit for
A
sure doesn't make
few.
sense.
Just a few. Yeah.
If they really don't think that Wentz can stay, it's frustrating.
Say it. What you got to say? If they don't think Wentz is what?
If they don't think he can be healthy, then I get it, and I get why there were concerns with that. The problem to me is just it's something I don't like to think about because in an ideal world, this pick is a complete bust for us because in an ideal world, he never sees the field.
Yeah.
In an ideal world, we're trying to trade him for a 2nd round pick.
Which we just used.
Which we just used.
Which,
And AJ
yes,
Epinesa was the pick after hours. So I don't.
Mims was still on the board.
Mims was
And
still on
Mims
the board.
also. What the?
I'm taking Mims. And you know what? This could look smart if Wentz goes down at some point and he
Yeah.
has to play. Because I like Hurts as a player. I like him as a player. His 53 seems really, really high to me to draft a backup quarterback. So
I'm just not looking forward to, if this were to be the situation, I'm not looking forward to having Wentz get hurt and then Hurts coming in and performing good and then just Eagles fans just blowing up. Jalen Hurts, let's go.
The thing
The
with
problem
me,
is that
I am
that's
committed to Wentz personally.
that's what sucks because that's best case scenario for this
Yeah.
pick.
But
I
that
don't like
is-
making a draft pick where the only way it works is if Carson Wentz gets hurt.
it's,
That sucks. That sucks
Yeah.
to talk about.
it's
personally,
not something we want to hope for. Wentz getting hurt and getting
No.
Hurts in our 2nd
Just
round
have
pick.
him never miss a game again. But
Or we play him like Taysom Hill, but why? No.
Ed, what were you were about to say something? What were you about to say?
I just personally think it's rare that the Eagles draft big name players and stuff. And obviously, I want the Eagles to draft big name players because I like the hype. But this doesn't make sense to me. I love Jalen Hurts. Love him a lot. Wrong team.
But this is where I'm even thinking of this, pushing the idea of what if we just traded the 2nd round pick to move up and we could have got Lamb or
That's the thing because if
Judy.
you were
I mean, it would have
I'm
been a
sure-
lot, but even that would have been worth giving away than getting another quarterback.
if you
Just-
asked me, would I rather have Hurts and Rager or Jerry Jeudy or CD Lamb? Give me Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
However, while we're here, we should talk about Jalen Rager because I really liked that pick at the time, even if I might have wanted the other guys. I like Rager.
I like
Like
him as
Rager.
well.
I like him. I like him a
Yeah.
lot. I like him for us. He is very fast. He's extremely fast. Granted, I definitely told you guys. I put it in the chat, but fastest speed they've timed Tyreek Hill at in his little chip helmets is 22.6 miles per hour. Happens to be the fastest speed they've tracked Rager at, 22.6 miles per hour. Nobody broke that last year in the NFL. Nobody cleared 22 miles per hour. The man's fast.
Yeah.
You need a deep threat. We got one. He is probably the best guy in this draft class at just getting behind defenses. And I think he'll be able to do that here. I think you'll be able to – he'll show out a little more when he has
He's
quarterbacks.
good after
that
the
can-
catch as well.
Great after the catch. He's
Yeah.
built like a running back. The guy's 5'11", 206. He's got a great vertical. He's got very good lower body strength. If you watch him, like, I know they say drops are an issue, and like he did have some drops, but a lot of those came on screen passes. First of all, let's point that out there now. And he'll make some impressive catches. He can win those 50-50 balls. And he's kind of shorter, and he's got those long arms. I mean, short arms, but I don't care. He can jump. He'll boss guys. Like,
I like thinking
I'm not.
about all of our wide receivers together. Just Rager, now Marquise Goodwin, Deshaun Jackson, and Alshon Jeffrey. The complete opposite of what we're trying to transition to.
Yeah.
But every team needs that big guy, I guess.
They also throw a little couple darts at John Hightower, Quez Watkins. I don't know if Watkins will make the roster. Hell, I don't know if Hightower will really make the roster, but I understand why they're just going to draft a bunch of guys who have a really good speed.
Yeah.
Personally, I was kind of confused we didn't take like a cornerback at all because I mean the Cowboys are two wide receivers deep at this point and kind of have to contend in your division. I think I would have to say, but I guess it's cool because we have Darius Slay, then we have I guess Sidney Jones and
Roby Coleman also.
Roby Coleman, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're kind of content because they still have they got Wallace now. And he also projects as like a slot and a safety type of guy. They still have Jalen Mills. I feel like they must have been rather satisfied with their cornerback room. And honestly, there weren't a lot of very good late cornerback prospects. There normally aren't.
I mean, we could have taken like
Christian Fulton at
Christian
53.
Fulton instead of Jalen Hurts. Yeah, that would have made sense.
But, got to get that quarterback.
Yeah.
So now moving on to the Steelers. We had enough Eagles talk.
They took Chase Claypool.
McFarland Jr., running back, 4th round. What you guys think?
I said earlier to Alex that Claypool is probably going to step in as a starter immediately. Honestly,
yeah,
I don't think he will. But
I mean, I don't see them running 2 tight end sets a lot. Plus, they have Juju, Deontay Johnson, and then they have James Washington. I don't think James Washington's good, and I think that Claypool could definitely start over him. And he's definitely not going to play tight end. I don't think he's going to play tight end with this team.
I you could also argue that they're definitely going to probably give Claypool a lot of chances to prove himself because they just spent the highest draft pick on him. Yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of him as a player, I would say go for it because yes, he probably will get the opportunity. I'm not a fan of him as a player. I think he's a big, tall guy who runs fast. I don't think he can move very well,
I don't think he has any type of value.
Nah, I don't see it.
I don't
think he'll be any sort of. Not yet.
I don't think he'll be any sort of volume receiver. I don't know. McFarland.
What do you think about Anthony McFarland?
Alex?
I'll let you take that. You were about to say something on him.
Well, I was just going to say I think it's a good pick, 4th round. Bring him in, compete with James Conner. I mean, the backups, I don't like Benny Snell a whole lot. The man's just a snail, Benny Snell at this point.
But, yeah, their backup running backs didn't really do anything, so why not throw another guy in the mix? I don't really know a lot about McFarland.
He's like a big play kind of guy. I mean, it helps with because you got Jalen Sanders, you got Benny Snell, you got James Conner. They're all big power runners for good 4 or 5 yards here and there. But
yeah, not a lot of playmakers back there.
Exactly.
So, all right. Like that. Don't think he'll have any fantasy relevance, but
yeah,
he's not this year.
Maybe eventually.
Moving on here, the Seattle Seahawks. Not a whole lot to talk about here. We got Colby Parkinson, tight end Stanford. DJ Dallas, he's back.
He's back.
DJ!
Back. Miami. And some guy named Freddie Swain, wide receiver out of Florida, who I have never heard of.
Same.
So,
Steven Sullivan in the 7th round over Thad Moss and Hunter Bryant. Hunter Bryant, yeah.
Steven Sullivan went to LSU. That's funny.
Yeah. I ain't got nothing to say about this team, though.
He really a tight end? They took him over. All right. I mean, hey. Whatever. 7th round. Man, who cares about him? Yeah, I don't really think any of these picks matter.
I don't think so either.
They took 2 tight ends, which I think is funny. But don't know if any of them will really do anything. don't really care for DJ Dallas either. Yeah. This Parkinson guy is kind of cool though. 6'7", got long flowing hair. Maybe he'll just look like Luke Wilson. You know, they like those big guys with long hair. Eat as many of them out there as you can get.
This is true.
All right, San Fran.
Good.
Brandon Ayuk, pretty much, and then you got Warner and
Warner.
Juwan Jennings,
Know
wide
who
receiver.
Warner is? Don't
Yeah,
really care for
Charlie
Jennings that much.
Warner. Strange way of spelling Warner. I'm guessing I'm
Isn't
saying
that
that
just-
right.
Isn't that just
I would
German?
assume you were.
Fair. The Warner is a tight end, 6th round pick, and then you got Juwan Jennings. He was a wide receiver, 7th round, irrelevant. Moving
say,
on to the
Ayuk
important
is the only
man,
thing that
Brandon
matters
Ayuk. Yes, sir.
I think he does
personally-
matter.
You don't think Ayuk matters?
No, I said I think he does matter.
Oh yeah, I'm saying he does matter. He's the
Oh,
one that
Yeah,
matters.
for sure.
So, I mean, I personally like this. I learned a lot the first episode because I don't have the most knowledge on these players, but your guys' description of Ayuk got me pretty excited about him. Looked more into him. I like him, and I like this landing spot almost as much as I
Very
do.
explosive.
As we knocked him up to be going to Green Bay. I like him here because, I mean, they run, I don't know the stats, but I feel as if they run just as much as Green Bay ran. Maybe a little bit more. I don't know. But
Well, they're running. I mean, San Fran's a running team. However,
Yeah.
they like to get the receivers involved in the running game. If the
Yeah.
Super Bowl was any indication of that, and
And-
Ayuk is built like a running back.
Yep.
And once he gets the ball in his hands, he like runs like a running back. I like this pick a lot for them. I think he's a do-it-all. He's gonna start. I don't see how he
Yeah.
wouldn't end up starting. And I like him. Very explosive. I think Shanahan will get the ball in his hands and he'll make things happen.
I agree.
I
Brandon,
like this pick.
as a Debo Samuel owner, are you worried at all with this?
No. I think it'll open more plays up for Debo. I mean, Shanahan's a creative coach. I think a fake sweep to Ayuk might leave Debo in a better position. I don't know. I think they're both going to be used very similar to each other, and I think that'll benefit the both of them because you could do a fake and just lay it up to the next guy.
I agree.
So
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna cannibalize each other.
yeah, I think they'll both benefit really well.
The way I see
Really
it,
do.
if as a fantasy owner, I don't get worried about receivers unless there's at least 4 of them on a team. These,
And
standard
how
offensive
often
set
does
frequently.
that ever happen?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of times you have like the Cincinnati right now. Sure, if T. Higgins lands in Minnesota, I like him a hell of a lot more than I do in
Yeah.
Cincy next year. But just adding like one other fantasy relevant receiver to the Niners, now that doesn't scare me off of Debo.
And
If
then you
anything,
got
like you said, I like him more.
yeah, and then the Buccaneers.
Now we're back to the Buccaneers.
Yeah, how'd you guys feel about their draft?
I like Tyler Johnson. I like him a lot in the 5th round. I think he has a chance to be get a lot of work for them. I know there's Godwin, but can't they just put Godwin outside? He's pretty good.
I think they could. I like the. I was confused actually about the Keyshawn Vaughn pick, honestly, because Ronald Jones. I mean, Bruce Arians came out and said he wanted a receiving back. So obviously, Ronald Jones is not their receiving back. Keyshawn Vaughn is also not a receiving back. He's a between the tackles runner. What's the point of that? I mean, it's not a bad pick. I mean, brings competition in with Ronald Jones, but
Maybe they think Ronald Jones can be that pass catching back.
why
maybe
would
they're gonna
Bruce
give him
Arians
that
say they
chance.
wanted him?
Yeah, I know. But they said they'd give him an opportunity, so I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't
So
really
Ty-
care for Keyshawn Vaughn from a fantasy perspective. I don't know about you guys.
Tyler Johnson. Your
I-
bold statement of top 3. How's that feeling
No
right now?
longer, not a thing. Not a thing.
No, is that based off of landing spot or
That plus, I think I may have
misspoke?
just done crack last
Maybe a
episode or
little bit.
something. I did something last episode. I
That's a
don't know what it
common
was.
error.
Yeah, I usually do that for
Doing
the
crack.
episodes.
Accidentally. Oh man.
Mix up my
Just
toothpaste with
accidentally.
my PCP bottle a lot.
Okay. Anyway, Tyler Johnson, I mean, he's a good receiver. In the situation, I don't like it at all. I mean, cool, you got Tom Brady. Great receiver, great offense. He's not going to play that much, so I don't know. Fifth
So
round
weren't
pick.
you didn't you think Scotty Miller was going to see the field?
Yeah, I think him and Tyler Johnson are going to share the field. Scotty
I think
Miller's a
Tyler
good
share it
Johnson's going to
together.
beat him out.
Huh?
I think Tyler Johnson's going to beat him out.
I would
You know,
hope so.
do
I
some
mean, I
stuff.
like him more than Scotty Miller, but
All right, well, hey, if he's on the field and he gets open, which he got open in college, I like him with Brady. If I can get him late in a draft, I'm taking him.
I'm taking Brian Edwards. Fuck Tyler Johnson at this point.
Like
Anyway.
Tyler Johnson. Moving on to the Tennessee Titans. Not really anything here to talk about.
No. Unless you
Darrington
want to talk
Evans.
about
Darrington Evans.
Yeah.
But, they also have Derrick Henry.
Cole McDaniel, also
McDonald.
QB, 7th round, irrelevant.
Love his
Again.
hair. Love his hair. Just gotta say that real quick. But yeah,
Check out this man's hair. Ooh,
you got
man.
those luscious locks from Hawaii.
Yeah. That's primarily
Wow.
why the Titans took him.
Yeah, did you watch
did.
the draft, the first round with what's the dude's name? Fuck, the coach of the Tennessee
Vrabel?
Titans. Vrabel, yeah. Did you see like his house? The people, yeah, that was just an odd, very
The I
confusing.
group. Wasn't the one man wearing like some sort of like jumpsuit?
I think he was
Are we
Like a
not-
blue. Was that the right team? Someone was wearing
It
like
was him.
Are we
Yeah, it
not
was the
going
type.
to
It was
address the fact
Vrabel
that
wearing the jumpsuit, or just a person in his
I
house.
think it was his son or something. Yeah,
how about the guy using the bathroom?
yeah. They said it was he
Follow
was
the
sitting on a
camera.
stool.
Though.
But
Yeah,
Did
I'm
not look
thinking
like
it
it to
was
me.
some reflection.
Why would you be able to see inside the bathroom as well? That's kind of odd.
Yeah, unless he
Maybe
left
they
the
left the
door
door
open.
open.
But who would
Maybe
Yeah.
that's
leave
how
their door
Vrabel
I
open
don't-
was
during
kids.
this?
I'm not gonna try to guess what goes on at Mike Vrabel's house. All right.
This, yeah.
I mean,
These
they
guys
do
are-
live in Tennessee, so
Hey man, they're NFL players. You walk around the locker room with no clothes on. Maybe he does it at home too. I don't know who's in there.
That's a lot of people in that house as well. But, anyways,
Yeah, moving on.
the Redskins finally got rid of
Redskins.
not Trent Richardson. What am I saying? Trent,
what am I saying?
what am I
Trent
saying
Williams.
here?
They doubled up on Antonio's. And the
I didn't even
G's,
notice that.
Gibson and Gandy Golden. We got an AG and an AGG.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
AGG. That's pretty sweet, actually. I might need to
Will
draft
like
both
Gibson.
of them.
I'm
I
very
don't-
annoyed personally.
Ooh, let's see.
Why
Most
is
of
that,
pros-
Ed?
Most of the prospects I loved just landed in some shitty situations. Tyler Johnson, I think that's a terrible situation. Gandy Golden with the Redskins, I don't love the dude, but Antonio Gibson with the Redskins, now that's a whole other fucking story. Infuriated. I don't know why they
Why are
drafted
you
him like that.
infuriated?
Because if they're going to use him as a wide receiver, okay, I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to use him as a running back either. His upside was huge. It was huge before this. I just don't see him becoming anything now. Don't know why. Just can't.
They also got who was it? McKissick, J.D. McKissick.
They got McKissick. They got
He's
AP,
a
they
wide
got
receiver,
Chase, they
running
got
back
Hayden
hybrid
Barber.
type of player, just like Gibson. I don't know what Redskins are up to, but
Yeah, it's
it's
confusing.
not going to work.
Also, wanted to say that they signed Thaddeus Moss, undrafted free agent.
Did they?
They did.
That's
Wow.
neat.
Yeah.
It's a good move, though.
Yeah.
I don't care about the Redskins. All this. I don't want to watch them. I don't care to talk about them. This is all fantasy relevance. Probably not.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that comes from just quarterback play. At
Also,
least right
Gibson-
now.
Gibson's like upside right now is that of a gadget player, and gadget players are not ones that you look to draft in fantasy.
This is
Yeah.
true.
So I
Cordero
don't think they'll
Patterson.
matter.
Anyway,
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that concludes
Yes.
the
Every
draft.
NFL team.
You guys got
All of the
any
draft picks.
winners of the draft, losers of the draft? Anything? Just spit off the top of your head real quick.
From a
Winners?
fantasy perspective or just from a draft perspective?
You can say fantasy perspective. I personally believe Brian Edwards is a winner. I like the wide receiver
Carson
landing there.
Wentz.
You would say he's a
Yes.
winner? I
He has a
guess.
few people to throw to now, which is an increase from the nobody he had last year. I'm
This
probably
is
a little
true.
pissed off that they spent my second round pick on quarterback, but we wanted them to go defense, so that wouldn't change him.
Also, a big winner was Drew Lock, in my opinion.
That's a good one.
Hella players.
Maybe the biggest winner in the draft,
Yeah.
Probably.
if only because they added Judy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking biggest loser would be Marlon Mack.
Oh, for sure. No doubt about
Without
that.
question.
Yeah, his job is gone.
Yeah. Just depleted right in front of him. Another just team oriented winners. It's gotta be the Cowboys.
For
Their
sure.
offense is gonna be.
Unfortunately.
Just their picks, like the value that they got their picks
Mhm.
at, were just beautiful. I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guys just kept falling to him, and they just kept
Oh.
snapping them up,
Yeah.
bastards. But
I mean, they managed to get another great wide receiver. It's just crazy.
You can't.
also, in the losers column, we have the Jets, not because they had a bad draft, but just because
That's
they're the Jets.
Yeah.
And that concludes my coverage of this year's draft.
And
Also,
I'm just now realizing the lighting in this room is awfully dark.
A little too late for that now, buddy.
Yeah. So, at least,
never mind. about that.
next episode, I'll just have like a silhouette of my body.
Yeah.
I'll probably
Alright,
be
so-
like in San Francisco, like next episode. Oh wait, I'm in San Francisco now.
Wow.
You've
That's
been there
quick.
the whole time, Ed. Have you slipped up and done more crack?
I think I did. I think I
Not-
dabbled.
Probably not something
I
you would
dabbled a little
admit
bit.
to. On something you're going to put on the internet. But hey, that's
Forgot
your
about
job future, not me.
it. Yeah.
So next week, we're going to discuss some coaching changes.
Yeah. Can we do a favor for me and actually, cut out all the parts that I said I did crack. Cool.
Good luck with that.
Please
Fair.
do it, Brandon. Please do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is a wrap.
Yeah.
That
Next
is a
episode, it's gonna be coaching changes. So keep an
When do you
eye
expect
out
to
for
get that out?
We're expecting to have that out. I would believe next Sunday. All right. See ya.